Of course, many parents love their children, but sometimes even the strongest bonds can feel strained. Simple disagreements can turn into arguments, especially when your child is becoming a young adult. So how do you repair those strained relationships before they break? This is what Blanca Cobb and I are talking about today. Blanca, let's go ahead and jump right into it. How do these rifts between parents and children even start?
A lot of what happens with a lot of rifts between kids and their parents is that the hurt feelings, and nobody is talking about the hurt feelings. That hurt builds up over time where it builds this wall and it serves as a barrier of communication between the child and the parent. Resentment builds up. For older kids, as they get older, naturally there's going to be a little shift in power dynamics because they're learning how to manage their own life. And for some parents, that can be hard to adapt to.
How do parents and kids start healing?
One way to start healing is just to have an open and honest conversation, regardless of how difficult it is. You talk about the hurt feelings. You talk about what's happening between the two of you that you don't like. You talk about what you want to see happen. So it isn't just a complaint fest. It really is, okay, these are the issues as I see them. This is what I would like to see happen. And for both the adult and the child, they need to just approach this with an open mind, listening to each other's perspective, respecting what the other person has to say, and taking responsibility for anything that you've done wrong actually builds trust between the two of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And what if the conversation turns tense and argumentative?
You want to set boundaries for a respectful conversation. This means no yelling, no eye rolling, no criticizing, no personal attacks. Using I statements and then talk positively. Look, having a hard conversation is very difficult, and sometimes you have to talk about things, but you don't need to blame the other person. You can just say, hey, mom, dad, it hurt my feelings when. A parent can say, son, daughter, when you said I felt this way. So it's just filling in those blanks where you're still speaking positively, but still having that difficult conversation. And then look, if it gets too tense, take a 20-minute break so that way you can each calm down. Because being, like talking at each other and not with each other isn't going to get you anywhere. You really want to be able to move through this together, and having a calm space in your mind and in your heart makes that conversation so much easier, and it's easier to reach resolutions.
All right, Blanca, thank you so much. Remember, you can continue the conversation with her on her Facebook page, Blanca Cobb, body language expert. We'll be right back.